phone. Okay.
You're live.
The Village of Lincoln Heights Committee of the Whole is now in session. Today's date is Tuesday, October 13th. The time is now 6:33. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Present.
Is my mic up loud enough?
I can hear you.
Everybody can hear me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
She's not in yet.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Present.
We have 5 who are present, 1 who is absent. We do have a quorum.
Okay. All righty. Okay, we're going to go straight to the speaker. We want to welcome Tephra Fields, MPA Executive Director of Lincoln Heights Outreach Incorporated, LHOI. Hi, Ms. Tephra, how are you? You're on mute.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
So Ms. Fields is here today. She's the new Director of Lincoln Heights LHOI, and I'm going to leave the floor for her to speak on.
Thank you all so much for having me here.
Greetings.
The speaker this evening. Like she said, I'm fairly new to Lincoln Heights Outreach. I've been here in the area for 4 years. December 2016 was when I came here, and make 4 years in December of this year. I started with Lincoln Heights Outreach the end of July, and I'm so happy to be here to be able to lead an organization to provide services to Lincoln Heights and the surrounding communities. I have a small, fast, quick presentation for you all, and I know some of you all are not, if not all, are familiar with Lincoln Heights Outreach, but may not know of all of the programming that we have and what we're doing now and what we are looking to do in the future. So we do have some new programming going to be starting up at the beginning of the year. So if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and try to share my screen here. And we can get started with my presentation. Can you all see it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So like I said, you all, Lincoln Heights Outreach has been around for quite a while, 12 to 13 years. Our program's been around for quite a few years, 12 to 13 years, and we became our own 501c in around 2015, 16. And since then have been providing services to the community. So our mission is to, oh, and there's me, that's my information, Tephra Fields, I'm the Executive Director, and my email, if you would like to contact me at any time, is tfields@lhoicincy.net. And I also put my direct line, which is 513-744-6261. If you have any kind of questions or concerns, or just want to talk about some programming or some needs in the community, just please feel free to reach out and contact me. I'm available most days. And so there we are. So our mission at Lincoln Heights Outreach is to empower families and individuals toward becoming self-sufficient through opportunities that impact their social, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, and economic well-being, with the adjacent and surrounding neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati and within Hamilton County, Ohio. So we are looking to expand, within the next year or so, and and focus, not just only in Lincoln Heights, but also outside. And some of our programming already provide assistance to outside areas as far as, outside of our zip code. So how do we forward our mission, and how does our mission come about? We have 4 pockets that, I kind of tried to put everything in. So you can see all the things that we touch. We want to assist a family holistically. So we want to work with them from, the youngest child all the way up to the seniors in the family. So we provide all kinds of programming in the area, around the area. So with our health and wellness and adult day service, we try to focus on a lot of mental health awareness, life skills, community gardens, healthy eating, senior care, health fairs. And we've done a lot of those things in the past, but COVID has caused us to have to look at some of our programming a little differently, and start focusing on how we're going to do some things virtually and safely. Our employment network, workforce development, resume writing, on-the-job training, and reentry support. In our education pocket, we provide year-round enrichment. So that means we're working with youth kindergarten in grades kindergarten through the 5th grade with after school enrichment, summer camp, and STEM activities. And we're starting something fairly new, which is virtual tutoring. In this age currently of COVID-19 and just making sure that we're staying safe, and with rising numbers in Hamilton County, we are wanting to prepare and provide an option to our in-person tutoring that we provide to our current school where we are as Lincoln Heights Elementary. But I've reached out to some of our surrounding areas, and they are interested in our virtual tutoring that will be taught by trained volunteers, and those individuals will work one-on-one with students. So this will be another option for our families for after school tutoring or any kind of tutoring for our students. And it doesn't take the place. It will be something that is in addition to, if families choose to go that route. We're trying to work on our early childhood support and get that back up and running. That's something we'll focus more so on in the at the beginning of the year. And I'll try to make sure that I forward information to you all for the community as well. And then we have food services and social services, which we provide community meals, financial literacy and credit counseling workshops, and credit counseling workshops in our clothing closet. So I'll just kind of get in a little bit more into what each program that we provide and what they are. So as I mentioned, we have our health and wellness programs, and we had previously run a program which was a 12-week course in which we focused more on healthy living, healthy moving. We did health screenings, yoga and Zumba classes, and nutrition education. Those things don't stop because of COVID. We just have to, be creative in how we provide the services. So like I said, we're going to do a little bit more, virtual things, and also still getting out in the community when we can to meet individuals and provide what we can. And our office is also open as well. So we just have to be careful in how we providing some of these services. Our community garden is actually, we're getting ready to turn it over. It's been kind of idle for a little while, but we have some volunteers that have stepped in to kind of work on turning it over and preparing it for, our the coming season. Winter's going to be kind of, it's going to be cold and we won't be able to kind of plant, but we'll be able to prepare our garden for planting and our vegetables for the next season. We also, our employment network, we provide seminars and services, career coaching network strategies, as you see there, resume and cover letter help, and second chance and reentry services. And those right now are pretty much more one-on-one based because of COVID. Our individuals can't meet with our credit counselor in groups. But we are still being able to, we can provide services one-on-one in office if it's needed. And they would just need to reach out to us, and we can try to set up some of these services here at our resource center here at Lincoln Heights, or we can set up a virtual room by Zoom with our program managers and program leaders to meet with said individual. Our after school program is actually up and running, and we provide homework help, tutoring, physical activities. And yes, you know, we actually can't, the kids aren't able to play with a lot of the items there, but they can get involved in a lot of movement. And we partner with other food services to provide meals for the kids, and that'll be starting up in November, and other enrichment activities in which we will probably do a little bit more virtually and provide laptops or computers or some kind of TV so the kids can get involved in some of the enrichment programs that we would be able to provide. And now our after school was running from 4 to 7. It is now 3 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. And that's our in-person after school program. And we're Monday through Friday at LHE, Lincoln Heights Elementary. Our summer camp, we haven't done really anything with that yet, but we will start looking at how we want to have our camp set up and how we want to safely do it. This past summer, we had a small mini camp with a few kids, and it seemed to go well, but we still want to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe and that we are being responsible. So we're going to start looking around about maybe February. We'll start looking at planning for our summer activities. And usually when someone signs up their child for after school, they would at the same time would sign them up for summer camp if they are interested. Our Cafe Hope also is a program that would be able to provide hot meals in a restaurant setting for individuals in the area, mainly our seniors and youth, and those at the individual and families and kids at the St. Monica Rec Center. And we still provide mentoring and healthy cooking workshops and monthly meals. So we're trying to come up with a different way of providing Cafe Hope. So stay tuned, because we have some things working as far as like if we are, you know, how we're gonna possibly go mobile with our meals in the community. So just working with different partners now to see how we can make that happen. So I want to make sure that we are, advertising, getting it out quickly to you all. So, just kind of being here in a month and a half, still learning who our important players here are here in our community and how we can partner and be great partners. We want to be, LHOI wants to be a good partner to the community, and that, across the board with the families, the youth, other social service programs. So we'll be reaching out to many other people to help us, work within our programs as well. And not that we haven't done it, we want to do more. Our food pantry runs every Thursday now from 2 o'clock p.m. to 6 p.m. One of the interesting things that during this time of COVID, we have gone from serving maybe 30 meals a day to 150 meals a day. So in a month, around about 600 meals. And each family gets around like 3 to 4 grocery bags of food. So you would triple that. So that's just the different, like 1,200 meals we're possibly giving out each day on Thursday. And we anticipate that this is gonna, as the winter comes along and, more of our businesses are closing, and I know you all are keeping your eye on a lot of that, is that there's gonna be the need out there in the community for food and you know, a lot of other social service help. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing. We ask people to try to get there early, around 2 o'clock, because the food is usually probably given out around about 4:30 every Thursday. We don't make it to 6. We're usually out of food by 4:30. So for those individuals or people that you know that are needing assistance, please let them know. You know, most of the time around 6 is a little too early, too late. The food's already given out. And our clothing closet is actually still up and running, as we've seen the numbers start to go up a little more now because it's becoming wintertime and a lot of people are coming in for winter clothing. So, you know, we're still here and operating from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursdays. And those are more so, and not Saturdays. We're not here on Saturdays due to our due to COVID. So we're running 1 day a week. Our financial piece is also something we have not, because of COVID, we've had to pause our Financial Peace University, but we're looking to do financial peace panels in which we will invite credit counselors, have our financial peace facilitators participate in a panel, and we will be able to stream that on our Facebook Live. So that's something that's in the works, and we hope to do it. It was my hope to have it done in October, but we're probably looking around in November to get that up and running and having that panel. And the Adult Day Service and Non-Medical Transportation Service, this is one of our newest programs. Our Adult Day Service has been approved on our campus, so we will start accepting clients and those individuals at the beginning of the year. We are COVID compliant and have in the process right now of hiring and training staff. So we will have our services start up in January, and probably around in December, we'll probably send something around that will explain how to start to get your loved ones or anyone's loved ones signed up or a waiting list. So that is kind of, you know, a lot of our programming. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities with LHOI. You know, we have opportunities in our food pantry, our clothing closet, our after school program, our virtual tutoring program, as well as any kind of office assistance that we have here with mail outs, any, you know, assistant to the director and the program, all of the other programs that we may need, any kind of helping us with moving things around in our buildings. So there are lots of volunteer opportunities that are centered around a lot of organization for us. We also have employment opportunities. We are looking for after school enrichment program coordinator. This person will be assisting our after school programs as well as our summer camp. We are looking for an adult day service registered nurse, adult day service personal care aides, and as well as the adult day service transportation driver. And we've listed all of those positions on Indeed.com. So if you know of any individuals that are interested or would like to know more about LHOI and the services we provide, they can contact me at the information that I listed before. And we can talk and Zoom or however they feel comfortable. And we can just go into, you know, our needs and what they're looking for. And we're also on Facebook, so we're trying to get a little bit more active on there and keep everybody up to date. We just had our ribs and pudding fundraiser, and I hope you all had a chance to get you some ribs, beef, pork. We had lots of good desserts as well. So that is what our annual fundraiser, and it went well. So if you were able to come out, we thank you for your support. And that's kind of my presentation. I don't know if anyone has any questions for me. Like I said, this program's been here a while. I'm the new kid on the block. So you all may have information to share, or maybe there are questions you have, but that's us in a nutshell. And thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Fields?
Yes, ma'am, I have a question. The adult day service, you said that'll start in January?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they'll provide transportation?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
I can't see. I need her to take, can you take it off the screen because I can't see them? To Facebook.
Wait.
So if someone's raising their hand, I can't see them because of the, there we go.
There we go.
There you go. All right, I just couldn't see it. I didn't want to miss anybody if anybody had any other questions for Ms. Fields.
Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Donation opportunities, where do you have them listed? Where you can send your money to?
You would send it to the address that I had at the beginning of the presentation, 9913 Wayne Avenue, Lincoln Heights, 45215.
Okay, do you have a time of year where you do a drive? Is there a time of year where you have a day of giving?
Like a giving day?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Giving Day is actually coming up. I think it's in November this year. And as you know, like I said, as me coming in fairly new, I'm trying to get all of our giving days and our fundraising opportunities together. So Giving Day is coming up in November, and I will make sure that we post that. So follow us on Facebook. So we'll make sure everybody can see when our Giving Day is.
Thank you. I just wanted you to put it out there in the atmosphere. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Daniels?
Just on that, just Ms. Tephra, thank you for coming on. Is the online donation piece no longer active? You just said come in. Is the online donation piece still active?
It should be active.
Okay.
It should be active. It hasn't. Okay. It should be. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Just want to make sure that's still the way we can give.
Yeah, right. It's active.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Baber, did you have any question?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Fields. Looks like no one has any other further questions. So we're looking forward to seeing you do great things in the village, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right, we're gonna go into new business. No, old business, I'm sorry. Is there any old business?
Yes, Mayor, I just had a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get an update on the grant, the home improvement grant? And the reason I'm asking, because I had a resident who's working on it, but she doesn't want to turn it in if it's not going to be complete. Is there any way she can make an appointment to come down so she could get some assistance and still social distance? She said she would Zoom or whatever she needed to do.
If I may, Mayor,
yes, she may.
She can always, give us a call or perhaps set up a meeting with myself or Ms. Pope or either Jamal. And I've been talking with some of the other staff that get some of the calls and just provided everyone a copy of the application so they'll be familiar with the information required and be able to answer some of the questions that the residents may have. So yes, if she'll reach out and let myself or Miss Donna or Miss Rita or I know or Miss Randolph or any other ladies in the office know when she'll be available, we'll definitely reach out to her and set up an appointment, a Zoom meeting or something, and we can set that up in-house to be able to assist her if she would like that.
Any other questions regarding the home improvement program from anybody else? Okay. All right. Any other old business? Okay. All right. We're going to go into new business. First reading of resolution number 2020 R28, resolution approving blanket purchase order to be paid from monies in the coronavirus relief fund. Any questions on that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Am I still? Oh, thought it was muted. Which number is this? 28?
Yeah.
And 28 goes with 16? Maybe I'm confused on my notes. I think I need 29 and 30. No questions on this one. I'm sorry.
Okay, nothing on 28. Okay.
Yeah, so when we talk about the blanket purchase order, Mayor, so I would like to be able to discuss those type of items that we might be purchasing in the Finance Committee so that we know what we're doing, trying to plan ahead of time. And so this blanket purchase order is, have we already spent off this purchase order already, or is this another purchase order to go forward?
Mayor,
yes, ma'am. Ms. Pope, I was looking for you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this blanket purchase order, we had to encumber the funds from the CARES Act funding by October 15th. So what this blanket purchase order is 3 distributions that we have received so far to date. It's one for $152,774.18. We received that around June. We received in September an amount of $76,387.09, and then we just received additional $120,684. So it's a total of $349,845.27. So those are the 3 amounts that we received. We had listed the things that we wanted to purchase. I gave you guys that report when I sent over the updated funds information, such things as the laptops, the new computers that we have.
Right.
All of those are going to be charged against this funding. In the tax department, we're going to get she's going to get an updated computer system, software package, where it'll allow our residents to file their income tax reports, our income tax paperwork online, and then also accept payments online. So that's going to be an updated portion of her already tax program that she has.
So that's looking at the grant and other funding projects of that report that you gave us. So out of that amount, the reason I'm saying is because we need to know what the remaining amount is. Because you know what I'm saying? Because now you're saying that we're getting ready to purchase something else. So should we be knowing what those purchases are ahead of time? That's what I'm saying, so that we know that we're watching how the money is being spent.
That's what you have. You have that list that totaled the $229,000. We talked about that a couple meetings ago. But now they just gave us this $120,000 last week. So now
who is that from?
That's also from CARES Act. It's House Bill number 614. The other 2 are 418, House Bill 418. So it's another portion of the CARES Act funding. So now with that's the one that we have to decide. We have to come up with some different ideas on how we can use it.
So The entire 229 is spent, right?
It's not spent yet, but it is.
Well, earmarked.
Yeah, it's earmarked.
So
exactly.
so this 120 is what we're going on, because everything that's earmarked on the update that I'm looking at, if I were to total all of that, it'll come up to 229, yes, 161.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the 120, and I sent you guys. If I didn't, I can send it to you. I received it from Hamilton County auditors, and they tell us what we can use the money for, and so we can use it for updating our bathrooms, for everything to be touchless. So
can or cannot?
We can. We
right.
can.
I got that list, and that's why I'm saying I'd like for us to discuss some of that in the finance meeting, so that we know when we're running out. But I guess my other question, Mayor, is why we waited so late, and this might be what what the Vice Mayor was talking about. So I think back in June or July, we have a ordinance or resolution, I guess, that says that we had to have this done by the 15th. So why we wait to the last minute?
You asking me, or you asking Ms. Poe?
Well,
can I interrupt for just a second? I might be able to help with that.
Yes,
so,
go ahead.
First off, because it was kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around all this, but I've had to do this in Sycamore Township. We had a meeting this morning where we did this. And so I'm starting to kind of get the lay of the land. And Ms. Pope, if I go astray, please jump in and correct me. But we established two funds. We established the Coronavirus Relief Fund, and we established the Economic Security Program Fund. The fund that is called the Coronavirus Relief Fund has had multiple distributions to it, and we have been generically calling those the CARES Act distributions. So those distributions did not come in one lump sum. They came over a period of several distributions, and the amounts all varied. So there was no rhyme or reason, so to speak, in terms of knowing that you're going to get 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. It was always a different amount. So a lot of jurisdictions with regard to the Coronavirus Relief Fund that's had these multiple distributions have had to wait until this week or last week to encumber the funds, because there was no certainty as to what those amounts were going to be. So to answer the question of why have we waited so long, yes, we did pass a resolution previously that established the Coronavirus Relief Fund, and that same resolution, if I'm recalling correctly, appropriated the money. However, we didn't really know how much we were going to get, and now that we're hitting close to the October 15th deadline to encumber, we know, okay, we've got this amount, so we want to encumber this. That is completely different than the Economic Security Program Fund, which I'm calling kind of the county program. That money does not need to be encumbered by October 15th. So the other two pieces of other two resolutions are really addressing that fund, the county fund, the Economic Security Program Fund, which we're not up against an October 15th deadline for. But again, to answer your direct question, the reason we've kind of waited is because of the multiple distributions at staggered times and staggered amounts to the Coronavirus Relief Fund. And now that we're 48 hours away from the date to encumber it, we know what we got, and that's why we're encumbering it. So is that a fair explanation, Ms. Pope?
And also, I think we need to also say that we had a expiration deadline of 12/31, but I don't think they came with the encumbrance deadline until just recently. So
no, it's something back in the summer. I remember something that talked about October 15th, and
yeah, you're right that the original House Bill 481 or 418 or whatever the number was did say that it had to be encumbered by October 15th. and it had to be expended by December 31st. But I don't think that came down the pipeline until July, if I'm remembering correctly. And so we were abutting, the August recess. But what we're doing here tonight, I just did it in Sycamore Township this morning, so it's not like we're behind the 8 ball.
Okay, so and is there any possibility that we might get some more money?
But I think we also have a deadline that if it's not encumbered and you're not estimating that you're going to use it, you have to send it back for redistribution. And so it's a possibility that we could.
Only not on our part, but if someone else does not do their part, we might be able to get some of their money.
Yes.
Okay, no, but I was asking if there's a possibility that they may just distribute some other monies, not from recaptured money.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, there are the discussions in Congress about the second stimulus package. So okay. I guess theoretically we could get more money, but presumably those would have different deadlines.
Okay. Okay.
But
yeah.
To your point, Ms. Mitchell, and to Ms. Pope's point as well, while we have, if this resolution passes tonight and we encumber the funds, we still have to expend them by December 31st. So we actually have to start getting these POs for computers, touchless faucets, Wi-Fi in the park, whatever it is we're going to use it for. We need to get those monies expended.
Right, and that's why I'm suggesting that we put that on the agenda for finance to make sure we get all that and people come with their ideas so that we're not doing it sporadically. We kind of got it planned. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one then. The next one is the first reading of Resolution 2020 R29, resolution accepting monies from the Economic Security Act program established by the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners. Any questions? Mr. Desai, you need to elaborate on that one at all?
I'll just briefly state, so we set up the Economic Security Program Fund, and now we're just taking the next steps that we always do, which is we're going to accept the money into the fund, and then R30 is going to appropriate the money from the fund.
This is our county friend, correct?
Correct.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I read, and I see that it's in section 1, it says the assistant village manager, but in section 2, it says the village finance director. Is there a difference? And why is it two different things?
Well, I didn't know when we would be signing, and I didn't know if Mr. Dukes would be around, so that's why I put assistant village manager in section 1. Section 2, though, is strictly a finance director function.
It's a directive.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the finance director handles that piece of it. Usually the manager signs and the director, the manager accepts, signs, does all that, whatever you want to call it, executive level stuff. And then the finance director, though, actually handles the monies. And that's why there's the bifurcation of the duties.
It just sounds strange to have both of those. But you the solicitor, if you say it's legal, okay.
Yeah, I mean, normally what I would have said there in section 1 is I normally would have said the village manager. But again, because I wasn't sure about when Mr. Dukes was going to be taken off, I just said, when I knew Donna. Donna, you're sticking around, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So question, why can't the village finance director be the same? Why can't it say the village finance director is hereby authorized? She can't authorize. It has to be a village manager to authorize. I just don't really like the way that looks. It just seems.
That's the way, Judge McClain did it, Judge Rucker did it, and that's the way I've done it for 14 years. I mean, that's the best explanation I can give you, Vice Mayor, is that from an executive level standpoint, whether it's signing contracts, accepting monies, accepting grants, we've always said the village manager. And we've always just left the finance director to deal with things like depositing the money, establishing the funds, things of that nature.
But the assistant manager is the finance director. It's the
Well,
same person. Okay,
well,
that's fine. It just looks silly to me, but
she's wearing two hats, and so when she accepts it, she puts on the manager hat, and when she goes to deposit, she puts on the director hat.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell?
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to, so on 28 in the first whereas, it mentions all of the places we got the money from, right? But this is just to order that it be paid, because I thought you said the county is the Economic Security Act, right?
It's the Economic Security Program.
Okay, so when this says Economic Security Act, that's not the county.
You're talking about R28?
Yes.
Correct. That's the CARES Act.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, okay. I just want to make sure as I read 29. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Anything else on this one?
Yeah. But on 29, it says Security Act 2. It just has program at the end of it. You sure that's not the same thing? Economic Security Act and Economic Security Act program, they two different people?
The Economic Security Act is part of the CARES Act. So I think the full title to it is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. So the economics, I'm sorry?
It's a comma between that and the whereas. It makes it seem like it's two different things and not one.
You're talking about on R29 or R28?
R28.
On
R28. Yeah, that's right, because it spells out CARES. It spells out CARES on 28. And so, but on 29, the Security Act does have the word program on it. And it, okay, I got you. So the program is the county. Got to be spent, but don't have to be encumbered.
Right. So to Miss Stinson's point, I can see where the defined term in R28 in the first whereas clause is confusing. So when we go into regular council to pass it, what we might do after the first reading is have a motion to amend to move that defined term in front of the comma.
Not for little old Jeannie Stinson, don't do that. Just leave it if it's okay with everybody else. That's just
I mean, you want to do grammatically correct. Because when you have the comma and the and, it does seem like it's something separate.
Okay, whatever. I don't care.
You want it, Miss Teacher?
I'm sorry I asked that question.
No.
Okay, whatever. I'm not making that motion because I done forgot it already.
Let's get with this, Miss Jeter. Yeah.
But I'm confused. Which is county and which is CARES?
CARES is R28.
Okay.
And that's the one that's the blanket PO encumbering the funds for things like touchless bathroom faucets, home workstations, sanitizer, Wi-Fi in the park, that type of thing.
What's 29? I just want to know what is
29 and 30 are both the same thing. They're both the county program.
That's the county. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm tired of scratching out. Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to how we're going to make this motion so it sounds right when we see it. So after the first reading on resolution R28, you want to make a motion to make a comma somewhere?
To remove,
how we want to
remove the comma.
Remove the comma after where?
After the word relief.
Okay, that's what I had a circle on there. Okay. Remove the comma after relief. All right. Okay.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
This has an emergency clause, correct? Because the 15th is in 48 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
They should all three have emergency clauses.
They do.
Yeah,
so they do.
So we can go ahead on it and pass these tonight, possible. Okay, thank you.
So that was 28, right?
Well, we were on 29, but we went back to 28.
Yeah, okay, so we back to 29, and so we got that's, okay. The county program. Any questions on 29 county program of resolution 2020 R29? All right. Okay. All right, so that leaves resolution R30, resolution appropriating monies from Fund 325, 2020 Economic Security Act program for COVID-19 related purchases and expenses.
I got a question.
Yes.
It's really just Fund 325. It's not 325 2020. So Mr. Desai, I wanted to ask you, did you just put that back because that's the year?
I just copied it out of the last one we did.
Huh?
So when we set up this Economic Security Act program fund, that's how I had it written in that legislation. So I just copied it out of that.
The fund is just 325.
Okay, so we have to remove 2020.
I don't know if it's, I mean, it was established in 2020 and it's Fund 325, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe just to be consistent with how we set the fund up, because that's exactly what we called it in the legislation in R27, setting it up. So if it's all right, I'd like to keep it consistent.
Okay. So do we need to put for 2020 or just leave that dash on there?
I would just recommend leaving it the dash there, because it's exactly the way we did it with R27.
Okay.
It's too late. Yeah, it's too late to go back in. Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on this? And it's also a county program. Okay. All right. Right, so that leaves miscellaneous business.
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question to Ms. Donna Pope and to Mr. Duke. Census 2020, is it continued? Did you get any information on it? Because they were talking about taking it to the end of October. What is going on with it?
Going on with what?
Census 2020.
Oh, I haven't heard anything from Census 2020.
I haven't heard anything as far as them extending it. They've been talking about some type of voter registration or voter program. That's the only thing I recall, but I'll comb back through the emails a little more thoroughly, but I usually look at them, but I haven't seen anything about them extending it, but I will look back through, and if I find something, I'll make sure Ms. Pope has that.
Thank you. I just heard it on the one of the news channels that they were talking about extending it, and I hadn't got any information, so I was just wondering if anything came to the village. Thank you. No,
ma'am, we haven't received anything, but again, like I say, there are we're in this chain emails with Census, and we get 1,000,001 of them, and I read the titles. And when it comes from the main census page, I normally kind of open those up and see what they are. But I haven't seen anything as far as extending the deadline yet. But I'll, again, double check tomorrow and pass it on to Ms. Pope, and I'll confirm it with you as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other miscellaneous business? Yes, Councilman Daniels?
Yes, just wanted to update folks on a couple of different projects. that's kind of been going on in the community. And then also want to make sure that we also got input on these projects as well. The first one, Madam Mayor had opportunity to talk with Ms. Deb and some of the folks from GE and some of our young men who came down and volunteered as we revamp the garden and get that going again on Jackson Street. We've been having some conversation on what that design could look like, but we want to have community input on that as well. So there'll be some community conversations via Zoom coming soon. And I'll make sure I keep everybody updated on that as well. But they're envisioning an opportunity where, that could be a space where, Jungle Gyms will start off as a small community garden, but what they're envisioning, and I think that could be an opportunity where we have our own little mini Jungle Gyms there. And then the partners that we're working with are obviously saying that, they would, buy some of that produce or potentially, getting some of those produce. So those conversations have all been in the works. We want to make sure that the community is involved with it. So once again, the mayor had an opportunity to talk with Ms. Deb and those other folks from GE. Also, just updating on the mural. The small airs have been updated. My little sister came back in town. She has an art show at Cincinnati Art Museum taking place for the 23rd. So while she was here, all those minor changes have been updated, as well as the final installations with GE will be done as well, potentially this Saturday or next Saturday. So yeah, it will be solar lighting at night, so folks can see some of those things as well. But yeah, it should be some good stuff going on this Saturday and next Saturday. And then lastly, I think Mr. Duke's already talked about it, about potentially working with GE and obviously some other folks as well. But coming up with a true master plan of what our village should be. And we obviously don't have all the answers. And we obviously need professionals that can do some of these things. And some of those folks from across the street have been willing to help with their skill set. And it's just a good opportunity to open up those doors and open those conversations. So they'll be coming to talk with us once again in the next month or so. I think I'm not sure if Madam Mayor and Ms. Deb talked about that, but we're looking to try to set that up within the next month. Mr. Dukes, am I missing anything on the master plan piece? I know you talked about it on Monday, but I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Well, the conversation, that we talked about and that you shared with GE is, I know they have some potential engineering skill sets that they may be able to bring to the table or bring to bear. But we also talked about any funding potential, being that they have that pot of money that they need to kind of expend. So I guess that's, the conversation that they can have with the village as to, how all of that's going to work and what levels of funding they'll be able to provide, and as well as what other types of in-kind services that they could offer to the community in support of the master plan.
Yeah, so I just wanted miscellaneous business, and then so that's that, and then updates on gun range. Just want to thank everybody again. It was obviously a positive meeting that we had on Tuesday at the public hearing, and we had a call from our state senator, and they are fully on board on any type of way that they could be supportive. So once again, it was a great call. We're looking forward to next steps, and those next steps, I'll make sure that once again, we'll make sure all the communities involved in all these moving parts that are happening in the village. So it's a great, 2020 has been a trying year for the village in a lot of different ways, but just like anything else, it's also going to be a time for growth. So I'm excited for the things that are coming, and just want to thank you all again for pushing us this far. So that's all I have for miscellaneous business. Thank you again, Madam Mayor.
Wait a minute. I think Miss Lisa may be asking something for some spelling or something. Miss Randolph?
Yes, I wanted to ask Councilman Daniels. He said state senator. What's the state senator's name?
Sherrod Brown.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, I just wanted to ask Mr. Daniels. So on the mural, the pieces that needed to be corrected. So on that one piece where it said Heights Movement 1946.
Mm-hmm.
So was that?
If
I
you
never
look
understood that piece.
Well, that's what's within the logo of the Heights movement. So if you look at it, it's underlined 19 because in 2019 was when the reestablishment of the Heights movement was taking place, and obviously 1946 is in honors of Lincoln Heights. So that's what that is. So no, it's not a typo. And if you had any other questions on that, you can always go to the website if you had any questions on the logo of
okay. And so
the Heights movement.
Will part of the installations include covering the bricks?
Yes, ma'am. That'll be the main part of it.
Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing, I'm seeing hand. Miss Charles Jeter.
I
was looking for the hand, but I didn't see the little hand.
I had the hand up. You're not paying any attention to it, so I give up on everybody.
No, I didn't see it.
Just jumping in. I had it up. I just put it down. But Lisa, that's your United States Senator, Sherrod Brown. That's all. Cecil would be your state senator.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. Thank you.
You don't have to apologize, Mr. Daniels. You're good.
Okay. All right. Any other miscellaneous business? If not, motion for adjournment of committee of the whole.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye, aye.
All right. Any nays? Ayes have it. We're gonna go straight into. Did y'all need a break?
1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
It's 7:29.
Okay, 1 minute.
Thank you. 7:29.
Okay.
I'm gonna log off my phone and get back on my computer. So I'm just letting whoever's going to take care let them know.
Okay. They got the wrong screen on. It's got this meeting is currently executive session. That's the wrong screen.
Mayor, do we have a 5-minute break? Is that what we are doing?
That a minute, but go ahead. We'll wait for you.
Hey, Mr. Triggs. How you doing?
How you doing, Mayor? Can you hear me now?
Good. Yes, I can.
I was on mute.
It's all right. Glad to have you join us tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hi, Judge.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome, Judge Triggs.
How you doing, Mayor?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Are we still streaming?
I don't think so.
You
I don't know
sure?
what
I don't think it turns off. I think it continuously runs.
We are still streaming.
It says on custom live streaming.
What do I don't see it up there. I got
It's
something
in the
else
left hand. It's in the left hand corner.
I got something else that popped up. Oh, dang.
Let's see. Miss Baber, you still there?
Gigi?
Yes.
How do I get this? How do
yes,
I get this?
I am still here, Mayor.
How do I get this off my screen?
I want to know because we're about to do roll call. And we're about to go in.
What is on your screen?
It's something Google Chrome, simple, something all. I have an option thing. Should I click on it?
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but can you try and hide it? Maybe your Zoom is behind
there
that.
We go. It left. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all ready? Let's go. The Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date is Tuesday, October 13th. Time is 7:34. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Councilman Durrance Daniels.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. Oh, I think we lost her. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
I think we lost.
Okay. Well, we have 5 who are present.
Yeah, the poem.
All righty. Okay, I'm sure she'll get back in. Okay. All right, I'll do the prayer. Dear gracious eternal Father, we want to thank you for bringing us in this place. Lord, we ask you to touch each and every one of us. Touch us, Lord, that we'll be able to agree and disagree and that we'll have a peaceful meeting. Lord, we ask you to bless us to do the bidding of the Village of Lincoln Heights and bless our residents as well. Lord, the decisions we make will be the ones that make our village prosper. And we ask you, Lord, to touch each and every one, and all these blessings I ask. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Motion for acceptance of the agenda.
I move to accept the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Any nays?
Everybody else on mute.
Councilman Daniels isn't. Okay.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Motion order for filing of the journal for the committee of the whole meeting minutes from September 28th and regular council meeting minutes for September 28th. Motion order for any necessary corrections.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. All right. Announcements, Councilman Daniels.
Just once again, I just want to thank all the community members who came out on Tuesday, and all the all the community leadership who came out on Tuesday, who spoke on behalf of the village in removal of the gun range. It was a positive take from the city, county, and even our state and federal representatives. And once again, this is a complete team effort. And we will let everybody know next steps moving forward. But I just want to thank everybody again who spoke and gave their testimony on how the gun range has impacted them. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Next would be Ms. Childs Jeter. Any announcements?
I'm asking everyone to vote, vote, vote. Early voting has started. You can go to the Board of Elections and cast your vote, or you can turn in your absentee ballot. And to all of our great citizens out there, we do not collect ballots. You must take them to the Board of Elections, or you can mail it. Put 2 stamps on there to make sure that it gets there. Again, we do not take anyone's ballot. You must take it to the post office yourself with 2 stamps on the mailing envelope, or take it to the Board of Elections, and you can go through the drive-through all night long. So just do that. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Any announcement, Ms. Baber, for you?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We are still looking for people to volunteer for Lincoln Heights Day, whether it be booths or helping to arrange. And sorry, Mr. Daniels, I hate you missed the meeting on last Wednesday, and I hope that we can get together to do something. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Baber. Okay. Next is Councilman Mitchell. Any announcement for you?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I'd like to thank Ralph Edwards, James Alsop, and Eric Elliott of my church for helping me in representing the Valley Pantry. And I'd like to thank Andrew Party, the Mount Healthy School District Homeless Liaison. He is working with a program called Farmers to Families, and we delivered about 75 boxes to White Cliff last week. And so this week, we will, with the help of some of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, we will be delivering some boxes to the villas.
Good stuff.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor, any announcement for you?
No announcements for me, but I did have a question for Ms. Baber. Would it help if we put something on the website promoting the volunteers for Lincoln Heights Days?
Yes, anything to help.
I'll write up something and let you preview it.
Thank you.
It's okay.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor, for that. Okay, I don't have any announcements myself. Ms. Pope, you have any announcements?
Oh, no, I don't have any announcements.
Okay. Mr. Dukes, any announcements?
No, ma'am, not at this time. Thank you.
All right. Then we're going to move on to our speaker. We want to welcome Judge Alan C. Triggs of Hamilton County Municipal Court. And the floor is yours, Judge Triggs.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, for having me here tonight. It's been a while since I've been to Lincoln Heights. For those of you who don't know, I actually got my start in Lincoln Heights as a judge. Under Mayor Mitchell, I was the magistrate for Lincoln Heights. I think I presided over Mayor's Court for about 10 years. Every Wednesday night, we were working hard, bringing justice to Lincoln Heights. From there, I went on to municipal court, here in Hamilton County. I started off as a magistrate judge. Now I'm a full judge in the municipal court. And now I'm running for the common pleas, which is, another step up that ladder. So Mayor's Court is the first rung of our judicial system, all the way up to the Supreme Court. And I tell everyone that I'm running for level 4 of the 6 that I have to go to get to the Supreme Court. We're working very hard down at municipal court, making sure that we bring justice, to everyone, especially in our communities, making sure that we get fair bail, making sure that we get adequate representation from defense attorneys, making sure that the prosecutors, treat us like they would treat, the rich and the ones who have high-powered attorneys. So I'm fighting all aspects down there with my colleagues, with the other judges, to make sure that they do right and make sure that we bring a sense of fairness to our jury pool. Been working on that as well. So again, I thank Lincoln Heights for giving me my start and helping me move up this ladder. I would love to answer any questions. I do want to talk about something that I heard someone mention about the gun range. And I was on a call last night and I heard one of the other speakers, it was either Charmaine McGuffey or one of the commissioners talking about possibly moving that to the county gun range. So it would be out of Lincoln Heights. So make sure you follow up on that because somebody's making that promise that it would be moved from Lincoln Heights. So follow up on that, if you will.
Yeah, Judge Triggs, we've actually been following, I'll make sure we're gonna do that. The mayors, along with the other partners, Heights Movement, the committee, all the other community leaders, we're all working to hopefully get this shooting range moved. The commissioners did their legislation in support that it moves, but we're looking forward to getting it moved. As the Vice Mayor says, ASAP, right. We all say immediately. So yes, so thank you so much for giving us the update, and we will definitely do the due diligence to follow up. Thank you so much. Any questions, Ms. Mitchell?
So Judge Triggs, will you give us some information about what actually our Commons Pleas Court handles?
So again, we have various levels. Municipal court handles misdemeanors and civil cases, $15,000 or less. Common Pleas handles felonies, which are the murders, the rapes, the high level crimes, and civil cases over $15,000.
And so you want to tell us why you're ready for level 4?
I'm ready for level 4 because, I've been training for many years, learning the law, learning, more about myself and how to be a judge. It's one thing to know the law, but it's another thing about how to be a judge, how to put yourself in other people's shoes and really judge them fairly. Some individuals, they come from privilege, so they can't put themselves in the defendant's shoes to see what they're thinking, to see why they committed those crimes. And I think I bring that sense of fairness that, I can look at a defendant with empathy and see where they're coming from and use other means other than putting them in jail as a form of punishment. And maybe they don't need punishment. Maybe they need treatment. Maybe they need something else to keep them from committing the crimes. I can give you one success story that I have out of many. Rather than putting someone in jail, I looked at his situation and he'd been committing, a series of thefts. And he just kept stealing from various locations. And after we had a conversation and I recognized what he needed. One, he needed his medication. So he was stealing for his medication, to pay for his medication, and he was stealing to have a place to stay. So once we got him both of those, and it came time for sentencing, I told him that he needed to stay away from certain locations like gas stations, Walmarts, where he was stealing. And he looked me dead in the eye and said, I don't need to steal anymore. You gave me what I need. So sometimes you have to meet them where they are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Any other questions for Councilman Daniels?
Hey, Triggs, thank you for coming on. So just my question is kind of, it's almost it's just your philosophy on something. So, kind of you have to look up each, if I wanted to get pretty much a sentencing data, right? You have to look up everything on each individual case. Right. So trying to make those sentencing almost a database, a public, a sentencing public database. How do you feel about that? And just your thoughts on it. I've asked a couple of judges and Yeah, I'm just kind of curious on what your thoughts are.
So we definitely need a sentencing database. And there are a lot of us there who want a database, but it comes down to the vote of the judges. So if you want to know the makeup of the court is run by the Republican Party. The Republicans are the ones able to make the changes right now. We're trying to change that this year. So we need the vote of 9 of the 16 judges in common pleas to make that change. So I'm one that want to have, the sentencing database so that everyone can see how we are sentencing, to see the differences between the judges. Some judges sentence harder than the others. I welcome it because I know I'm probably on the low end. And I want people to come down and, hold me accountable for my sentencing to make sure I'm not, favoring one side or the other. We have court watchers. I invite them to come to my courtroom to watch how I perform, to sit with me, to ask questions. I'm not afraid of my data because I know that I'm fair, and I welcome that wholeheartedly.
Appreciate that, Judge Reeves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any since I don't see Miss Babers on the phone. Miss Baber, you have any questions for Judge Triggs? I want to make sure I don't leave you out.
Her hand is
no, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, if there's nothing further, thank you again, Judge Triggs. Thank you.
No, thank you
for coming back. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you again. Thank you, because like I said, this is where I got my start, and I'm going to keep going up that ladder until I can't go any further.
All right, this is going to be level 4, right?
Level 4 for me, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Hearing from the residents. I didn't see that we had any hearing from the residents, so.
No, ma'am, we didn't.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna go straight into our regular agenda. Communications from the Clerk of Council.
Nothing at this time.
Then communication from the mayor. I have the September 2020 month-end bank reconciliation before you. Lincoln Heights Mayor's Court monthly report for September 2020. Total to the state, $414. Total area fines to external agencies, 0. Total to other entities, including restitution, $15. Total bonds forfeited to the village, 0. Total to the village, including miscellaneous receipts, adjustments, and BA fees, $3,512.03. Total to be dispersed, $3,941.03. And also in your packet will be emailed as well to you, the bank reconciliation. Is there any questions regarding the mayor's court report? Okay. Is there a motion to accept the monthly report?
I'll move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Any nays? No. I did want to mention regarding Mayor's Court that we are in the process of going to have the credit card payments. The village would no longer have to pay the bank fees. They will be transferred into the individual. So if you're paying on a ticket, you'll incur the fee to pay. So that's something that Ms. Perkins has been instrumental with getting that done. And I think also Ms. D. Peterson, she's looking at her credit card machine as well, because we've been having to incur the charges when on the village. So if we're getting billed $100 or $120 a month, that comes up to about over $1,200 by the end of the year. So the fees will be assessed. And I think it won't take place probably till November. So just want to give you an update on Mayor's Court.
So Mayor, that's to use the credit card. So if it's the $3 fee, that fee is being added to their cost of the ticket.
Yes, yes, ma'am. No, it's gonna be added on to when it asks you what the fee is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it just depends on how much the ticket is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. All right. Next is communication from the village manager, Mr. Dukes.
Really don't have anything at this time, Mayor. Just kind of close out some things and make sure the village is kind of continue to move forward in my absence. That's all I have.
That's all you have. Okay. Would anybody have anything to say? Mr. Dukes? Y'all are too quiet. Vice Mayor.
Laverne can go first.
Oh, I'm going over here. Miss Mitchell.
Well, Mr. Dukes, it was nice to meet you. I hope that I think that has been an experience that we both have. When I say both, council, the village, and you have learned from and have gained some insight for. So I hope that before you leave, that you will give us some type of final report so that we'll be able to share that with our incoming village manager. And so we hope to just wish you good luck when you get back to Griffin.
All right, thank you very much. And yes, I will meet with the mayor and sit down with her, Ms. Pope, and make sure there's a, Ms. Pope and the mayor has an idea or understanding of, what needs to be continued, what I was working on. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. All right, Councilman Daniels.
Yeah, just anything else, Mr. Dukes. I appreciate the work that you've done for the village. First of all, but I should have said firstly, prayers obviously go out to the recovery, of your family, without putting too much out there, but we always, that comes first. So we understand, wish you could stick around, but yeah, Mr. Dukes, we appreciate you coming through and carrying the torch forward. So thank you again.
Well, thank you so much. And I, make sure you guys just try to kind of, that master plan, that vision for the community is gonna need to be done. I mean, once you get that and get a true plan with some engineering costs and some projects, then you can really begin to move forward and really begin to go down the checklist and make some things happen in the village. So thank you all for, having me and working with me and allowing me to work alongside of you guys. Thank you.
Ms. Childs-Jeter.
Mr. Dukes, I want to thank you for your service during the time that you have been here and for the conversations that we have. I wish you the best in your life and go in peace and safe travel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jeter. I appreciate that. We got some nice conversations, you and I.
Yes, yes.
And I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I thank you so much, and definitely, want to thank you for your leadership and definitely ensuring that we engage the community and kind of get them out and active and involved in everything that's going on. So thank you.
Ms. Baber.
Mr. Dukes, I just want to say that you will be missed and Godspeed to you.
Thank you, Ms. Baber, and continue success in your endeavors, and hopefully things will go well for the 75th. I would, like to receive an invite and come back and perhaps enjoy the festivities.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Benson.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, you do. I'm gonna take her back to Griffin. She's coming to Griffin. So you all enjoy her while you can.
Thank you, Mr. Dukes. Appreciated you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
I want to thank you, Mr. Dukes. From the day you came, it was doing Rock the Block, and we was, as Lisa Randolph said, we were three amigos going from houses to houses and looking at all the homeowners getting their houses rocked. So I want to thank you for leading the path and keeping us going. This has been a year of pandemic and all kinds of things. It's been just one of those years, but we want to thank you for the service, for what you did. And we pray for you and your family. And we wish you much success in your endeavors, and wish you a safe trip as you travel back to Griffith.
Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you so much.
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. And like you say, from day one, we got out there and kind of stumped the block and got some things done. And hopefully, you all get a big win with the gun range, and they'll give you some definite dates and timelines when they're going to move that thing, so that, that'll be another achievement the community can hang its, hat on and be proud of. So I definitely wish you success and your continued leadership of the village. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to, is there any committee reports? I didn't see anything on there. All right, Mr. Deepak, did you have anything you wanted to say? I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
You muted. There you go.
He said no, thank you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I just saw his mic go out. Okay. All right. Okay, then we're going to move on then. Any old business? Okay. Under new business.
Well, Mayor, I think I have some, old business. I had some things with the minutes that I wanted to ask about that were in the minutes. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. So, Mr. Dukes, when we met with the CT consultants for the field, so are we going to have a MOU for their pro bono services? Will we have that?
No, ma'am, unless that's something you want to set up for them to do. But basically, they were offering the pro bono, and they were going to provide us something. But yeah, that would be a good move to actually put together perhaps an MOU. But I guess the thing is to get with Stephanie and the landscape architect that she brought out to basically put together a scope of work that they're gonna provide. And that's one of the things. They came out just to get an initial assessment, and then they're working on something, because we were talking about even doing some public input meetings on the field and what the community would like to see out there, in addition to some of the input that we provided. So that was one of the things. But that could be something Ms. Pope could reach out to Stephanie and the landscape architect to see if they would, to see where they are with putting those that scope of work together and those costs. And then from there, it would be good and support the grant to put together an MOU.
Okay, thank you. And Mayor, my other one is
go ahead.
The traffic signal. Do you have an update on that? The traffic signal for the CDB? Yes, the Medash, not the one down at Wayne.
Okay, well, yeah. Again, that's something I engaged Stephanie with that information, being that our engineer will probably have to coordinate the project and be the project manager. So I did engage Stephanie on that. So she got a couple of projects, so she hasn't gotten back to me as to a timeline or a schedule, but I did inform her that we had those funds and that we need to go ahead and get that project moving as well. Again, I can send her a follow-up email tomorrow and see if she where she's at on that, and then definitely make sure that Donna is up to speed on that as well.
Okay, so if we have to get that, do we have to spend those funds this year? That was the project for this year with the CDBG. Does it have to be completed this year or just at least started?
Well, you know, with the 2020 funds, it was they only came online in June. And with the whole COVID-19 thing, it really kind of pushed everything out. So, you know, the funds are still available. We just need to get the ball rolling on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're going to go into new business. Motion in order for the first reading of resolution number 2020 R28, resolution approving the blanket purchase order to be paid from monies in the coronavirus relief fund. What's your pleasure, council? Which one?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we read it by title only.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved second to read resolution 2020 R28 by title only. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. I'll come back. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Thank you. We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-28. Resolution approving blanket purchase order to be paid from monies in the coronavirus relief fund.
Motion in order to amend resolution 2020 R28 to remove the comma after the word relief.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durance Daniels. Councilman Durance Daniels. I'll come back. Councilman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman, I apologize. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes, sorry about that.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion in order to suspend the rules of resolution 2020 R28.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. I'll come back. Councilwoman.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion in order for passage of resolution number 2020 R28.
So moved for passage.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion for the emergency clause of resolution 2020 R28.
So
Motion.
moved. Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Okay. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. Motion passed.
Motion in order for the first reading of resolution number 2020 R29, resolution accepting monies from the Economic Security Act program established by the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners. What's your pleasure, council?
I move to read by title only.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved. It's been moved in second to read by title only for resolution 2020 R29. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-29. Resolution accepting monies from the Economic Security Act program established by the Hamilton County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you. Motion in order to, any questions? Any questions? Motion in order to suspend the rules of resolution 2020 R29.
So moved to suspend.
Ms. Baber was second.
It.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, Ms. Randolph. It's been moved in second.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion for passage of resolution 2020 R29.
So move for passage.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Thank you. Motion for the emergency clause of resolution 2020 R29.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. Motion passed.
Motion in order for the first reading of resolution number 2020 R30, resolution appropriating monies from Fund 325 2020 Economic Security Act program for COVID-19 related purchases and expenses.
Motion to read by title only.
Second.
It's been moved and second to read by title only for resolution 2020 R30. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2020-R-30. Resolution appropriating monies from Fund 325-2020 Economic Security Act program for COVID-19 related purchases and expenses.
Any questions? Motion to suspend the rules of resolution 2020 R30.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Child Jeters.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. Motion passed.
Motion in order for passage of resolution 2020 R30.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. Motion passed.
Okay. Motion for the emergency clause of resolution 2020 R30.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. Motion passed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to go right into miscellaneous business. On the topic, the first one is easement for the access of Memorial Field. Mr. Desai.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So Council, this item was placed on the agenda because, as you know, we've got some grant monies that are allowing the village to improve Memorial Field. And there has been some long-standing issues with accessing Memorial Field through the traditional route of ingress and egress that goes across the old school there that is now owned by a private property owner. So as I understand it, it was in 1971 that Lincoln Heights merged with the Princeton City School District. And at that time, the property was conveyed to the Princeton City School District. Presumably, at the time of conveyance, the village would have reserved an easement for itself to access Memorial Field. That really didn't become an issue until Princeton sold the property 5 or 6 years ago. And the most recent property owner has not recognized an easement right by the village. I was tasked, I want to say 5 years ago, with determining whether there was an easement there. So I reached out to a property records examiner that I had worked with in the past. And surprisingly, he was not able to find a recorded easement and was having trouble even identifying the parcel itself, which simply means that, you know, while most of us go by street addresses like 1201 Stephen Avenue, from a auditor standpoint, they rely on parcel identification numbers, and from a property record standpoint, the recorder's office relies upon legal descriptions. So he sort of threw his hands up at the time saying, I'm not really sure what to do at this point. Given that we're at a situation now where the village would like to have access to Memorial Field through the traditional route that it had used until, you know, a few years ago, what I would suggest and recommend to council is that we hire an attorney who specializes in what's called title work. But basically, there are a handful of attorneys out there that specialize in being able to go back to property records. In this case, it's almost going to be 50 years old, and pull out what exactly happened when the property was conveyed and whether there was some document reserving an easement right for the village and the property. So what I'm looking for from council tonight is a motion to authorize the law director, the solicitor, to engage a title attorney to determine if there is a easement in favor of the village. I don't know what the cost of that will be. However, I would estimate it to be, you know, $2,000 to $3,000. I could certainly understand council being concerned about there being sort of an open bill, an open ticket on it. So if the motion wants to have some kind of monetary cap on it, you know, I'd probably recommend like $3,500. That's fine. I will be able, once I get authority to engage a title attorney, I'll be able to get them to provide me some type of an estimate of what they think it's going to cost to make that determination. So again, tonight, looking for a motion at this time from council to authorize the solicitor to engage a title attorney to examine potential easement in favor of the village to Memorial Field at a cost of no more than $3,500.
Okay. Looks like Ms. Baber has her hand up. Yes, Ms. Baber. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Thank you. Couldn't we use a title company versus a title attorney because it would be cheaper in cost?
That's what I tried to do 5 years ago, because typically those title companies will do these sort of, you know, quick searches for us for, you know, a couple $100. But that person, and those people are typically not attorneys, that person kind of threw their hands up in the air. And I had worked with them for years and I'd never run into this issue, you know, which is why I'm making the recommendation that we actually engage in a title attorney.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Okay.
No, thank you.
May I have one?
Thank you. Wait a minute, hold on, Miss.
Yeah, may I have one for Mr. Desai regarding the access to the property, being that if there's been an implied easement for so many years, I mean, even if there's not any legal record, isn't there some other rights that would kind of come into play, being that that has been, you know, a given for so many years? Would that also be some consideration?
There are legal doctrines that have things such as implied easements, but you'd have to file a court action to have that established. And, you know, as you know, litigation is expensive. So that would certainly be a fallback if the title attorney comes back and says there was no easement reserved.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, if there are no other questions, I'd make the motion.
But wait a minute, the vice mayor had her hand up too, so you didn't? You changed your mind? Okay, I just saw both of them at the same time, so okay.
Yeah, I motion to authorize the solicitor to engage a title attorney to investigate our rights to easement to Memorial Field at a cost not to exceed $3,500.
Is there a second? I second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
I'm sorry, because I did have a question, but I was trying to rephrase the question. I know it's already a motion on the floor. I just try to abstain. Yeah, I know. Abstain. I'm sorry, abstain. I just had abstain because I just don't feel comfortable saying sorry, abstain.
Thank you. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. I'll come back to her. She's on mute. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
No.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
No.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 3 aye votes, 2 nay votes, no votes, and 1 abstention.
So the motion fails.
Okay.
And motion fails.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Mitchell.
So if we don't get easement and if the property owner says we cannot cross there, did we have a problem this weekend with the block with the Habitat folks being able to go up there to the field?
I didn't hear an answer.
Are you asking me, Ms. Mitchell?
I was asking the mayor if there was an issue with folks being able to gain access to the field this past weekend.
Yes, and then Mr. Duke was notified, and Mr. Duke.
So why wouldn't we lead with that? So we have more information.
Yeah, so that's why, along with the football team, when they do come back to the football field, it has been an ongoing issue. But yeah, there was an issue with them wanting to get in to get the debris. But I know we had given instructions for Mr. Duke to notify Mr. Clark, of the individual that they would be using that. Now, whether that took place, I'm not sure, but maybe if he was notified, he wouldn't have probably had that issue. But
Mayor, if I may add, I mean, whether or not there was an issue, whether or not he was notified, the problem needs to be resolved, because every time he's upset about something, the village can't continue to endure this. And if he owns the property, the village has no way to access that property, no way, because the right-of-way comes over to the telegram pole. And there's no way to enter unless you go up the hill where the old pool used to be and cut a side entrance in across the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a problem that needs to be resolved now or later.
I agree. Ms. Jeter?
I've talked to Mr. Clark, and he is upset about, first of all, someone not talking to him about the fact that there was something going on his property, that we had to actually go through his property to get to where we needed to be. He says that a conversation would have helped. Now, we know at different times he is upset with what's going on. To the mayor, to Mr. Desai, and to the manager, has anyone talked to him about that easement piece? Because I'm sure it's going to.
What is an easement?
It's going to cost us to make it happen.
The darn easement is that the driveway, the sidewalk?
It's probably a minimum
piece of land.
24-foot wide land that you can have access to the property. Mm-hmm. To answer your question, Ms. Jeter, I did communicate with Mr. Clark this weekend, and in the beginning he had no problem with the Habitat accessing the property, and he only got upset when there were more people beyond Habitat, and then that's where he had a change of heart and denied Habitat access to the property to gather their equipment. So, and that's where we had to kind of interject and make it to where they could at least remove their equipment.
Mr. Dukes.
But we did have a conversation. He said he would be willing to provide the easement to the village if they would maintain the driveway, and if he provided the easement, it would be the village's responsibility anyway. But then immediately he would change and say, well, he would have a conversation about it. So I guess the thing is going to be after with or without the title search, maybe you can do the conversation and see what happens. Maybe, that would be something he would have to sit down with Mr. Desai. I kind of, advise him that I could reach out and the village could draft an easement agreement. And then, he said, well, no, we can begin the conversation. So where does that leave us? That I guess, council have to decide how to go from here.
Well, a couple of things there, and I want to do some correction, or maybe I heard it wrong. I did talk to you about and ask you if you had talked to Mr. Clark about coming onto his property this weekend, and you told me no, you didn't see any need in doing that. You all had talked before, whatever happened before. I am talking about strictly this weekend, which he called to talk to me about it. If it's my property, you need to inform me that you're coming on. And that's simple as that, because he owns the property. Again, my vote for the night is for the process to start to see what's going on with the property and if we can do that easement piece. But you told me that you didn't talk to him about this weekend happening. He said that he needed to know so he could be there. So I think that's just fair for him to know that someone is entering his property and no one's coming to do some damage or anything. So he came up, and whatever happened, I was not there, so I can't say it. I can only listen to three people's story. He told me that the mayor called the police. I talked to the mayor. The mayor said she didn't call the police. I talked to you, and you said you asked the sheriff to go down there. He also told me that Miss Mitchell's son and niece came over there to jump on him, or
he talking about some old stuff. See, all of that old past stuff. And here's the issue that I have.
But I wasn't finished, Mr. Dukes, because he had this conversation with me. So I don't know again. So I went to the mayor and asked her. She said, no, she did not call him. Okay, I haven't talked to Miss Mitchell about what happened with her son, niece, or whoever. But he gave me this whole story of the property. But the fact is, no one talked to him. So we do need to settle if the easement can be done, and offer him whatever that you want to offer him for that piece of property, or however you're going to do, but the process needs to stop. And you did not talk to him. You told me that.
I told you that, yes, ma'am, because it is still hasn't been determined that he owns the property as of yet. And that's what this whole easement and this title attorney was gonna kind of get to, rectify. So we still don't know who owns the property. Is it the village? Is it the school? Is it Mr. Clark? So it needs to all be rectified.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, I'm gonna get one more.
Yes, I just want,
we need to move on. Go ahead.
I just want to clarify that the issue with my son happened in a Lincoln Heights day, probably back in 2000. I guess I want to say 15 when he first bought it, and no one really knew. We were all kind of going up there, and my son pulled up on the parking lot to pick up some stuff from me. So that's what he's talking about. But I do want to say also that I did mention to the mayor, and I'm not sure if I mentioned to Mr. Dukes, but I did indicate that we needed to let him know that we were coming, and that we should let Habitat know to park behind the building. So, I mean, we do have to let him know that we coming, whether we know it's his or not, just to avoid any confrontation. And so right now we don't know, so we should at least,
If I could reply just, Mayor, just to say this one thing, that again, the village has been fighting this battle since 2015. It needs to make a determination and get the right of way, because without it, the park doesn't have access, doesn't have vehicular access without that easement.
Vice Mayor, last question. Vice Mayor, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what an easement is, but if I'm walking from Village Hall and I go up the hill on the pathway, if I go that way, I can't go that way?
You can't walk on the pavement, Vice Mayor. You got to.
So every time somebody walks on the pavement, they need to let him know? There's no.
That would be the case. That would be the case.
So even if we knew that it was his, and what if he said, no, you can't do anything with his property?
Then we wouldn't have access to the park. We would have to cut a new roadway up to the park.
But he could say that though, right?
If it's determined, but the search has to be, because I'm sure there's an easement somewhere, and being that the village has been using that park for how many years? I'm sure
50 years or more.
Well, I'm sure there's some type of rights. Squatters have rights. Why wouldn't the village have rights to access the property?
At the time, you had both the elementary and the high school there. And then they could go to the field back there. The field has been there for a long time. The field was there when I was little. But we also had a high school and an elementary school that almost connected.
Well, my recommendation is to allow
Princeton may have that information. I don't know.
Okay. Well, so I did want to address with Ms. Mitchell when she mentioned Habitat. So Habitat, what we did, because we didn't want to have any problems, we contacted Princeton, which Vice Mayor contacted the principal, and we had Habitat Park on Adams on top of the hill, and the school allowed them to park. So but they, they did still have their machinery that they had to remove. But Habitat, they parked their cars on top of the hill on Adams. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, we're going to move on and go to the status of demolition of 1023 Bills Avenue. Okay, so that was the question we needed to find out. What's going on with the status of 1023 Bills Avenue being torn down? Any update on that, Mr.?
Well, that's something something that came down the pipeline. The county has a process, policies and procedures that have to be followed before they'll commit funding to that. So I did talk to Ms. Pope about that process, and it's a pretty kind of lengthy process and a checklist of things that have to be done. Applications and agreements have to be put in place. So it's something Ms. Pope will have to kind of take the lead and share with the incoming manager to continue to pursue.
So Ms. Pope, can you speak on it? Is there any update you can give us on it? Because we've been talking about this for over a couple of months. Is she on the phone?
Well, like I said,
she's not there. I could give you an update on it.
I was trying to unmute myself, but go ahead, Mr. Desai.
Thank you, Ms. Pope. So we've been working with Emily Carnahan at Hamilton County Planning. She had sent us a checklist of what they needed. They needed a condemnation order. We provided the one from 2019. They said that was sufficient. They needed the scope of services. I prepared that. I sent it to Ms. Carnahan for review. She said that was sufficient. They also needed evaluation and an opinion that it constituted blighted property under Ohio Revised Code. So I provided them the valuation based on the auditor's assessment and the last reappraisal. And I also provided them a legal opinion stating that we deemed it blighted property. So that's everything on the checklist leading up to the request for proposals. Ms. Pope has the scope of services that she will send to a list of contractors that Ms. Carnahan provided us that Ms. Pope has, and she will send that request for proposals, i.e. the scope of services, to the contractors. We need to get 3 proposals back from them. Since it's a less than $25,000, we do not need to do formal bids. So we can simply take the lowest proposal, and once we get those proposals back, Ms. Carnahan suggested a 2-week timeline for them to reply. So we should be getting those back by the end of October. Once Ms. Pope, have you had a chance to get that request for proposals out yet?
I didn't get that out because I think you sent it to me last Friday or something like that. And I was not last Friday, but I think the Friday before, and I was on vacation last week. So coming back in this week, that is on my to-do list, and I should be able to send that out by Friday.
All right, great, thank you. So presuming it goes out by the 16th, then the deadline for the proposals to come in would be October 30th. And at that point, we'd select one, and the county has the funding set aside for us, and we'd be able to move forward.
So when you say send that out for proposal, I just need to send that out for an advertisement, right? I need just.
No, you can literally that Excel spreadsheet that I included with the contractors' names, just send it directly to all of them.
Okay, will do.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, if there's nothing further, Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss the hiring of a village official. Do I need to add all the rest of it?
Why don't you rephrase that to discuss the employment of a public employee?
The employment
of a public employee.
Okay. I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss the employment of a public employee.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Okay.
Are we doing a separate Zoom link or how are we doing this?
You didn't get it?
No, I just wasn't sure. Did you send out a separate
Zoom
link? Okay.
Yes, it's separate.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
It's a separate link.
Separate link.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just sent whatever.
Check your email.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you, Laverne.
Oh, okay, because he
sent it out to everybody. Came from Jason.
Oh no, I didn't see that one. I used when did he send it?
Not for sure, but I can resend it.
Okay.
But I got to get in my meeting first because I'm hosting a meeting. So did he send it to you, Lisa?
Oh, I have to get into the remotely into the
I'll send it to you.
I thought it was everybody on there. I thought her name was on there.
Yeah, but she can't.
Let's see. Miss Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay. He sent it out on the 9th. He just sent it to me. He forwarded, I believe, to everyone else.
Okay, so this was on the 9th before we knew we were having executive session?
Wait, let me double check. Let me double check.
But that's what I'm saying because I sent him
Friday the 9th at 2:01 p.m. We're still recording.
Okay, but it's for executive session?
Yes. He said around 2 o'clock on Friday, October the 9th, and it came from Jason from ICRC.
Oh, okay. That's not what the vice mayor. I'll look for it, but I'm just saying that's not what the vice mayor told me. So that's fine. I just sent him the wrong one. It was October 9th.
That what Jason sent, yes. At 2, what time did I say? 2, something after 2, maybe 2:01 or something like that. But I'm going to mute myself because they're still recording.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll send it to him.
Miss Mitchell, you're still up.
Okay, well.
Meaning they're recording you and seeing what you're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for.
Okay, we're all coming back. I think that's everybody.
Everybody in?
Mm-hmm.
It says 10. 10 people?
That's everybody.
If you're speaking, Madam Mayor, you're on mute. Okay, I didn't know you were speaking to us.
Thank you. The Village of Lincoln Heights is now called back in session. The time is 10:03. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Present.
We have 6 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Okay. Motion for adjournment.
So move for adjournment.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.